filming with Interceptors. A lot of people want to know what it was like day-to-day filming with Interceptors. So I'm not going to go into how we started, but in regards to day-to-day, you come into the office, whether it were an early, late or night shift. Nights were normally the best ones because that's when all action happened. So how it'd work is you come in, you get debriefed on what had gone on the night before, what were outstanding stolen, who were wanted, so on and so forth, and anything you just had to be aware of and look into. They'd come into the office with the camera crew, and there'd normally be one camera crew that night with yourself at Bradford and one at Wakefield. So I'm going to pick on a lad called James. James is really tall, good looking, really fit and strong, does Krav Maga, that sort of thing. So we're always the kind of lad you wanted to have with you anyway. James would come in, speak to us, have a brew with us, maybe have a biscuit if we've got a few biscuits out. Then he'd say, right, I'll go get car out, get car keys off you. So he'd go to the car, kit out with all these cameras everywhere, all these wires, microphones all set up, big labels in the back of the car saying you've been filmed for Interceptors. Then he'd come up and prep you, so you had cameras all over you, microphones under your vest, all linked in. He'd do sound checks and things like that. And then he'd get all dolled up with all his gear on and all his handheld cameras, and you'd have a bit of a plan what you wanted to do, where you wanted to go, what time you wanted a meal, or because if you had to change camera batteries and things like that and set yourselves up. We'd have a bit of a plan, normally me, Baby Ben and James, and then we'd go get in the car. We'd have a drive around. Now, these people that are filming, they are not like, how can I put it, Jeffrey who works down at Corner Shop. These are people just like you. They're the world-wise, have been around the world filming. They know how to speak to people. So within 5 minutes, you are completely at ease with these people. They're just chatting to you about everything, and you're worried that you're going to say something rude or something that's not going to be eligible for TV, but it don't work like that. So what he'll do is he's got like a magic button in the back of the car, and as soon as you see something or say or nod or whatever, he knows, you know, I know, and everyone knows in the car. As soon as anything happens, he presses the button and you let it go beep beep, and then you'll know he's filming. So the first couple of times, just say for instance you're driving along and you're like, oh, I don't like that, and as soon as you say I don't like that, you'll just say beep beep and he'll say I'm filming now, and then you completely forgot that he's there in the back of the car. You completely forgot that the cameras are filming you, because all you're doing is doing your job. So everything you say then, regardless of Ben doing a vehicle or person check, or me outlining the fact why I want to stop a vehicle, that's what you do anyway. The only thing that they might say is just tell us what you've seen, and that's what you see on the TV, like, oh, I've just seen this car and I don't like that. Or if a pursuit happens, you'll just be saying, I'm not happy with this car's going to beep beep, you let it go off. Put lights on and it's off, so you're aware of that. There's been so many times when people like James, with him being so fit and strong, we've got out at foot chases and we've all wearing all the stab vests, we've all started running, and then he just comes past us with, so we're running like that, and the cameraman just comes past holding camera, and it's like, you need to have to slow down or run behind us or go get him. So there's been a lot of times when we've shouted, go get him, James, you know, get him and lock him up, and he's like, he's jumped over this wall, and James is technically in pursuit of this lad, and then we're just following James, and James is shouting where he is, filming this lad. So that's been like brilliant times, because like I said, without people like James doing things, and there's Mike and all other cameramen, and there's camera lady as well, Rachel, if you're watching, hello Rachel, that we wouldn't have been able to catch certain people or do certain things, because things are caught on camera that we haven't actually noticed at the time, and we've looked back at the camera, and or when a vehicle's made off and we've not got the registration, it's all caught on camera, which has been really good. We then just film throughout the night shift, and we'll either be told it's a golden ticket or it's not. If it's a golden ticket, it'll make the full like lead story of Interceptor. So when it comes on, they've always got a big main story. It'll be the golden ticket one. So you might do a really good pursuit with a burglar, get a foot chase, get him locked up, and he'll say, this is a golden ticket job. And then every time you went out, like went out with Mike a lot, and he was saying every single job we were doing, me and Baby Ben, was just like a golden ticket job. There is some nights where literally nothing ever happens, and you might answer one call all night and it's a bit crap and it's not going to make good TV, but they're there for 6 to 9, 12 months, maybe a couple of years. So you are going to get something. And then you end of it all, end of their filming shift, so how long it's going to be, you might get to go for some drinks with them. So that's a good crack, because you get to know each other on a personal level. Then the next week when they come in, you're back knowing them, but they start becoming more friends. And like Mike and James and other people, they become more friends than they have become work colleagues. And wherever they go in England filming, they make friends with all these other people. So it was absolutely fantastic. The only thing was, when they got on, or they got out, they put Channel 5 on, Tabard or whatever it is, it just, so many people flocked towards you. And you had so many idiots and dickheads that had just be completely, like, "Whey!" Like, this is your 5 minutes of fame now. You've got a camera, 10 million people watching. What are you going to say? "Whey, Bradford," and can't you say how else? Is that all you're going to say to camera? All right, mum, fucking dickhead police. And you're thinking, you've got to say something more intelligent and a bit more up there if you want to be on TV. But they just keep it in. But one idiot would bring another idiot, and then his idiot would bring another idiot. So within 5 minutes, you get like 10 idiots surrounding you. That was the only downside about when they were filming. But apart from that, it's Interceptors changed my life, and if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here now. So I want to say thank you to all the crew, and thank you to everyone behind the scenes, because you all know who you are.
Did the crew, the cameraman, did they ever get abuse from people?
Yeah, there were a lot. Every time we got our job, they wouldn't pick on us because they know they'd either get a slap or they'd get locked up. I don't mean the slappers in that would slap them, but they'd get some shit, but they probably would get a slap. But the cameraman were just easy prey for him. But people like with James, his size, that's why I picked on James. He's a massive, he's 6'2", he's probably 17 stone of pure muscle, and he's just a big lad. So you never stand for any crap off anyone anyway. But yeah, they get shit sometimes, but they just give it back, or they'd be so professional about what they were doing. They were brilliant. It never bothered me that they were there, and it never bothered me that I'd say something or do something that really shouldn't be on camera, because like I said, you're just professional through and through when they're there, and it was an interesting time. And going back, like I said, I've made some great friends and I've had some great memories with them, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So plus laughs to give you in car as well. So yeah, top job.
Did they ever get in the way of anything?
No, never. They never, when you're wrestling with someone, they never got in the way, and if you were struggling, they'd give you a bit of an hand if you needed an hand. But they were never in the way. The only time technically it were in the way were if their equipment were in car when you lock someone up. So equipment would have to, because you know how much equipment's worth, they'd have to move all their equipment out of car and put it in boot, but then they'd sit in back car filming the suspect, so to speak. But yeah, never got in the way, always there to have a good laugh with, and I'd never changed that time in my life. It was brilliant, but I never wanted to do it. It was Baby Ben that made me do it.
So how did you get roped into it?
Baby Ben were doing it, and me and Baby Ben have said we'll never do it, and then one day he came and said, "I've been filming the last 2 days, been out with James." So he says, "Come out," and I said, "Well, I'll come out with you, but I'm not saying out." So I went out with Baby Ben, and Baby Ben was just talking, and I was driving, and eventually James was talking to me that much, I just started to let my guard down, and then that were it. I just started talking, and he says, "Right, you should do it, think about doing it," and then this is where it's got. I think what they do is they go to the force, all that deal's made, and then what they'll do is they'll come in and say, right, who wants to be on Interceptors? And there's more people who don't want to do it. And it's not like all Bobbies are queuing up saying, "I want to do it, I want to do it." There's more Bobbies don't want to do it than there is want to do it. So a lot of times you might got one team and there's no one on team 3 or team 2 that ever want to be on TV. So they're like, well, we're just never going to film with this team. But you might got one team and there's 3 that want to do it. Or you might got one team and there's 4 that want to do it. Or they'll look for people that are more outgoing or have a bit more gifted at gab or something like that. But the majority of people that want to do it are the people that are confident enough to do the job, be able to speak on camera and have a bit of fun. So that's why you see the same sort of pattern in everyone that's on it. They're all officers that give a bit of gob to people back, and they're not shy at coming forward, so to speak.
And then once you did start filming with Interceptors, like how many days a month, or how often would that happen then?
We basically filmed daily every shift, so on earlys, lates and nights. The majority were nearly lates and nights. So we did 2 earlys, 2 lates, 2 nights. We were always on the 2 lates and 2 nights. And the majority of the time when I was with Baby Ben, we went out with camera. But I think on and off it went on for about 2.5 years, if not a bit longer. So they might have a 5-month break because they start filming something else, or want to go away and come back. But then they say, right, we're coming back next week, and then they come back and keep filming. So it was just like being with you, being with one of the lads. It was just a good crack. And like I said, there are some people. So even if members of the public get approached to go on Interceptors, go on it. You never know where you're going to be.
We've launched a Patreon channel. If you want to help out, please see the link below. Thank you.